This is Steve with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the clutch on this Honda TRX450R. Whether you're racing on a track, hitting the trails, or hitting some big sand bowls at the dunes, your clutch takes some serious abuse. So if you have some symptoms like grabby clutch feel or slippage, you're probably going to want to inspect or replace your clutch. So today I'm going to show you how to do that on this Honda TRX450R. Now the procedures that I'm going to show you will be very similar to other TRX450Rs, but you need to check with your OEM service manual to be sure. To do this job, you need some basic hand tools, a torque wrench, rags, rubber gloves, and safety glasses. Now we're using the Tusk Competition Clutch Kit today, and you'll also need a clutch cover gasket and a copy of your OEM service manual for more information, proper procedures, and specs. Now Honda recommends inspecting or replacing your clutch at 20 hours or 100 miles, and then every 100 hours or 600 miles thereafter. Now if you are changing your clutch out, it would also be a good time to do a full oil change. Now we offer our Tusk oil change kits that come with everything you need to do that. I literally changed the oil last week, so it's kind of unnecessary, and that's why I have the quad propped up on these stands so that I can change it and I won't have to drain the oil. Now the first thing we need to do is back off the clutch adjustment all the way. Now this would also be another good time to go ahead and service your cable by lubing it. We have a really good video that you can check out on how to do that. Next, we need to remove the rear brake lever so that it gets out of the way of the clutch. Now I need to remove the clutch cover bolts. I'm going to do that by breaking them loose a quarter turn in a crisscross pattern, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove them all. Now let's remove the cover. Now let's remove the pressure plate bolts using the quarter turn crisscross method. Now let's remove the pressure plate. Now be careful, sometimes there's a washer on the back here. Just make sure that you don't lose it. Keep track of it. Now we'll remove the thrust bearing and rod so that we can inspect it. Now it's not necessary that you do this, but it's a good idea while you have it apart to inspect it. Now remember, always keep yourself organized. It makes it much easier for cleaning, inspection, and reassembly. Now let's go ahead and remove the clutch pack. You may need to use a pick to get all of your plates out. And remove your spring washer and washer seat, also known as the judder spring. Now that we've got our clutch pack removed, we want to go around and look at our inner hub and our outer basket for clutch wear. A lot of times the plates will wear grooves into the basket and causing the clutch to be very hard to engage and disengage. So if those get pretty severe, then you'll need to go ahead and remove the clutch basket and replace it. Now these look pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and install our new clutch. Now let's remove the O-ring on the clutch cover. All right, now let's take some contact cleaner and a rag and go ahead and clean our mating surfaces. Now let's install our new gasket on our clutch cover. Now in most clutch plates, you want to measure the overall width of the fiber plates evenly around. And then you also want to check for warpage with the steel plate. And you want to stick that on a flat surface and use a feeler gauge. Now also the other thing you want to look for is if chunks of the fiber are missing or you get some bad discoloration on your steel plates. If those occur, then you're definitely going to want to replace them. And as always, you want to check your OEM service manual for the correct procedures and specs. Now we're ready for install. Although the clutch plates don't look too bad, we're going to replace them anyway, just to be sure. I've taken our new Tusk Competition kit and submerged it in new oil last night so that they can soak overnight. Now let's install our spring seat and spring washer. Now we need to install it with the inner diameter of the spring facing out. It's possible that some aftermarket clutch kits require you to leave out the cushion ring and judder spring, but refer to the provided information or manufacturer for their recommendations. Now when you go to install your fibers, there's one fiber that is, the inner diameter of the fiber is slightly bigger than the rest of them. Now this is so that it can fit around the spring washer, so make sure that one goes in first. Then when you get to your steel plates, the outer edge of the steel plate, one edge is slightly sharper than the other. Now you always want to make sure that all the steel plates are facing in the right direction, so all your sharp edges need to be facing in the one direction. Be sure to alternate between fiber and steel plates while installing. Now let's reinstall our push rod, thrust plate, bearing, and thrust washer. Next, let's install the pressure plate. Now we're going to remove the old springs and replace them with our new tusk springs, and then we are going to install all of those in a crisscross pattern and torque them to 9 foot-pounds. Now let's reinstall the clutch cover and torque the bolts in a crisscross pattern to 9 foot-pounds. Now let's install the brake pedal and spring and torque it to 20 foot-pounds. Lastly, let's readjust our clutch lever to 10 to 20 millimeters of free play measured from the end of the lever. And that's it. That's all there is to replacing the clutch on your Honda TRX450R. Come check us out at RockyMountainATVMC.com for more parts, apparel, and accessories. And if you like what you see here, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Steve. We'll catch you next time.